That's awesome.
Pull off the head. His head off. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little freaked out when he was pulling off the head of the video. I was like, also, there's something there. Yeah, I was like, kind of a little kids like typing Alright, whenever you're ready.
Ready? I'm ready. For the past 6 weeks, I have been struggling with this speech. But unlike some, I wasn't struggling with whom to pay tribute to. I never had a great relationship with either of my parents, nor did I have role models or mentors growing up. What I was really struggling with was how to pay homage to someone in a way that would really show how much he did for me. I can never quite put into words what I was feeling, and then I came across a quote by Thurgood Marshall. He says, "None of us got where we are solely by pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps. We got here because somebody, a parent, a teacher, an Ivy League crony, or even a few nuns, bent down and helped us pick up our boots." For me, Carrie Cotter, my chemistry instructor and mentor, is that somebody. So today, I'm going to pay tribute to Carrie because she's always been there to pull me up by my bootstraps. I'm going to tell you about 3 events in which she helped me pick me up and help me put my life back together again. First, when I wasn't sure if I wanted to go into teaching as a career. Second, when I was having difficulty with a chemistry course last term. And finally, when my self-esteem was at an all-time low last term. The first thing I'd like to talk to you about is how Carrie helped me with my career choice. Every time I would bring up the topic of changing careers, my parents would always seem disappointed in me. I remember one time going into lab and asking Carrie about some calculation, and she asked me what was wrong. I told her about my uncertainty about careers, and I'll never forget what she told me. She said, "Caitlin, you have to do what makes you happy and what's right for you. You're the one who has to live with it in the long run." So to this day, my father, every time I talk to him, he tries to get me to quit teaching and go back to school to be a pharmacist. What she said hit me like a ton of bricks. I never thought about the fact that Carrie's father, a pharmacist, didn't approve of her teaching career, and I carry her words with me every day. They help me to remember to think clearly about what is going to be best for me in the long run. Now that I've told you a little bit about how Carrie helped me with my career choice, I'd like to talk to you about how she helped me with the chemistry course last year. Last spring, I enrolled in organic chemistry, but unfortunately I had to take it from the same poor instructor that I had the term prior. After about 2 weeks of being in this course and struggling and not learning anything, I was starting to become really overwhelmed and extremely stressed. Carrie saw this, and so she put aside 2 hours every Friday to help me learn the material so that I could get an A in the class. This really meant a lot to me, both emotionally and academically, to see someone care about me in a way to take time out of their busy schedule to help me. And I think this is really when I started to become close to Carrie. She helped me and picked me up when I was down and helped me to see that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was, and she helped me both academically and emotionally. Now that I've discussed how Carrie has helped me in my career as well as my academics, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about how she helped me with something a little more personal, which is my self-esteem. Ever since I can remember, I've had an extremely low self-esteem. I generally don't like attention and avoid compliments mainly because of the attention that's attached to it. This low self-esteem also aids in me being absolutely crushed by criticism. Last term, there was a lady in my biology lab who was probably about in her early 50s who found it amusing to always tell me that everything I was doing was wrong. I remember one time I was weighing something on the electronic balance and she was repetitively telling me I was wrong, and I had just about had enough, and so I turned to her and politely explained to her that I was proficient in both the use of the scale as well as the procedure that I was continuing to take. She then stated with a very stern look on her face that "you stupid youth know nothing," and continued to badmouth me to my other 2 lab partners for the remainder of the lab. So for the next 3 hours, I was forced to put on a happy face and act cheery even though I was extremely hurt inside. Directly after lab, though, I went to Carrie's office, and before she could say much more than her normal, "Hey Caitlin, what's up?" I spilled everything to her. I told her about everything that just happened, but after I talked to her, I felt a lot better. And I just imagined that she would just apologize for what had just happened. But what she said to me really struck me hard. She said, "Caitlin, you're a hardworking student who's willing to put in the time and effort it takes to learn the material. It's not often for students like you to come through this department. Don't let her get to you." This compliment was hard for me to take, and I broke down in tears right in front of her. But it was like not like any other sensation I had ever felt. It was weird to be able to cry in front of her and not feel as though I was being judged or looked down upon. She was there for me, and she was there to pick me up and help me to see clearly again and to see that things weren't as bad as they'd seem. So today I paid tribute to Carrie, because she's always been there to pull me up when I was down. I did this by first telling you a story about when I wasn't certain about if I wanted to pursue teaching as a career. Second, when I was having trouble with the chemistry course. And finally, when my self-esteem was at an all-time low. An anonymous author once said that some people come into our lives and quickly go. Others stay for a while and leave footprints on our heart, and we're never ever the same. All I can say is this: Carrie came into my life and left a huge footprint on my heart, and I don't think I'll ever be the same. Thank you.